well, here, let's kind of build upon this analogy that Purva Phalguni and Uttara Phalguni are connected, okay? Because that's going to kind of carry us further into this. Basically, with the symbolism of the Khat that's connected to Purva Phalguni and Uttara Phalguni, it's got 4 legs. And we can think of a couple of different analogies to that, which is Brahma, for instance. Brahma has 4 heads, right? I've heard a couple of different associations of those heads, one being the 4 Vedas, right? The other one being the 4 ages of time. Both of those are very meaningful. So here you are, you have the soul. It's here with, being incarnated. It has the wisdom of the 4 Vedas with which to carry itself through. It also has the completion, the entirety of time with which to go through that process, regardless of whether it wants to be here for the entirety of time or not. Right. It has that entirety of time. And if that's looked at in a very positive manner as one being actually very prosperous by having that, then we can understand that, really we have all the time we need in order to work out what our soul is here to work out. And eventually we get to the destination, right? But what ends up happening with this particular nakshatra is, as the individual is aware of the fact that they've got what they need through the prosperity of the union that they've gone through, and that they have all the things at their disposal that they need in order to be prosperous with the particular circumstance, obviously they're going to feel confident about what they have next to do. So they can really put their full weight behind something. And I haven't gone into this much with previous nakshatras, but maybe we'll do this a little bit with Uttara Phalguni, and the fact that Uttara Phalguni is in Virgo.
Okay.
So you also have the concept of the Virgo hardworking aspect, or being able to give and be of service. Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, a lot of people with prominent planetary placements, especially things like the ascendant or the moon or the sun in Uttara Phalguni, they're going to want to give. They're going to want to be of service. They're going to want to pick a cause and really put their weight behind that cause. They're, really good career placements for people with prominent career planets in Uttara Phalguni are, working in social services. Mm-hmm. Or working for charities, because the soul will become a fighter at this particular point, because it's got the confidence that it needs.
Right.
And that kind of fits with if you use Aryaman as the deity for Uttara Phalguni, that fits, because Aryaman is always associated with a lot of fights and being a leader. Mm-hmm. In terms of mythology. So it's a seasoned veteran, confident of skills and confident of what one has. Right. If you use the analogy you were using earlier with Arjuna, and then we have the concept of Arjuna knowing that he has Krishna on his side, feeling more confident in that battle, knowing that he's doing the right thing, he's confident.
Right.
And able to go into that battle. So the deity usually connected with Uttara Phalguni is Bhaga, the sun as bliss. So here we have the coming together of the union and basically experiencing the prosperity or experiencing the bliss of that union. Mm-hmm. The Shakti being the power to give prosperity through union or marriage. So this furthers the concept of the sacred contract. When we decide that we're going to work in harmony with ourselves and do the things that are right for our own purpose here on the planet. And this is actually quite meaningful with Uttara Phalguni, because the primary motivation is moksha. So when we decide we're going to do that, then we become liberated, or we guide ourselves towards self-liberation, I should say. Because we're coming together with what we're here to do, and we're fulfilling that purpose, and we're confident of what that purpose is, and we're able to discharge our duty in a more positive manner. I haven't gone into the castes in terms of the nakshatras before, but maybe we'll play with that with this one, because actually the caste that's connected to Uttara Phalguni is Kshatriya. Mm-hmm. So it's a warrior caste. Mm-hmm. The basis above with Uttara Phalguni is wealth gained through one's own family. So that's the heavens. It's the energy or the power or the strength that we get from recognizing that we're connected with our souls, that we're connected with the infinite, right? Basis below here on earth is the wealth gained through one's partner and their family. So the wealth that we gain from being incarnated here on the planet and connecting with all the individuals that we're here to connect with.
Mm-hmm.
Result of that being the accumulation of wealth or the accumulation of wisdom.
So with this nakshatra, then, with the basis above, wealth gained through one's own family, basis below, wealth gained through one's own partner and their family, and the result being the accumulation of wealth. So then again, if I think about planets in this particular nakshatra, whatever these planets represent by their natural indication is, say, being Mars or Mercury or Saturn or Jupiter, and also the planets ruling over a particular house within a person's chart, that this may be an area where they find support and wealth or accumulation of wealth and wisdom based on what those planets represent. Would we look at it like that?
Exactly, and I recognize I didn't mention the ruling planet here, which is the sun. Okay. Yeah, so especially, you could use the sun, and wherever that sun is ruling in the chart, that's going to be where they draw from to fulfill whatever planet is placed in that nakshatra.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Where because they're channeling that energy to, where they're drawing from, where they're channeling it to.
Right. And the idea being that the sun, not only that it's a self factor, but also that it's a planet that kind of shows our inspiration or what we're looking to achieve.
Yes. And well, I mean, if we follow that analogy of the sun is bliss, being confident in one's strength, knowing oneself, being happy, content within oneself. Mm-hmm. It's a very firm foundation for that. So we can, if we look at where that planet might be ruling in the chart, that's something dependent upon the nature of the sun in that chart that the person could be confident with.
Right.
Or take pleasure or joy from, or something that they shine at, right?
Okay, yes.
So then they're able to use that thing that they shine at and make that other planet accomplish things.
Mm-hmm. I see.
In particular areas, yeah. So tamasic at its basis, rajasic is what it builds upon that tamasic energy with, and sattvic at its ultimate realization, right? So tamasic, very firm, very condensed, the coming together of the union that also ties in with the tamasic energy. Then it takes that and it's rajasic, puts that energy into action in order to attain something or to reach a particular plateau with the sattvic energy. Yeah. I think we already said the primary motivation here is moksha, right, and the Trimurti association is Shiva. You can look at the Shiva association as being connected with the desire to want to overcome the obstacles in one's path, destroy the things that are obstructing one. The analogy of the seasoned fighter, wanting to do right, get rid of the delusion or the negativity that's either in one's existence or somebody else's existence. The person's service-minded.
Right. And so with this nakshatra, again, thinking about if the moon is placed here or planets are placed here, when it comes to timing, it may be that this would be a good time to begin an effort or an activity that required doing something with others. I mean, when we think about the Shakti, the power to give prosperity through union, could we look at it in that regard?
It's a very good time for doing that. And when you were mentioning with Purva Phalguni and the connection with that and wondering if that would be a good time to start a project, well, this right. would be probably a better time to start the project, whereas Purva Phalguni would be a good time to pull all the resources together.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because then with Purva Phalguni, we're looking more at the contract. So we're kind of working things out, who's going to do what.
Yeah.
And then one other final thought, I don't know if we've mentioned this so far, and again, I'm sure we'll restate it when we get to that part of the class, but when we're thinking about the best time to do something using planets in the particular nakshatras, I'm assuming that we would also not just say, oh, well, the moon is in Uttara Phalguni. Therefore, this is a good time to start something with another individual, to give prosperity, to do something that's going to give prosperity through union. But we might also want to see, well, how is the sun doing, since the sun rules over this nakshatra? And so we might not only want the moon to be here, but we might also want the sun to be in a good dignity to help.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just bring that up because I'm not sure people think about that too much. Like when I read about the moon is in this nakshatra, therefore it's a good time to do this. And I wonder if they ever thought that's mostly true, but there are other things to consider. Well, so,
right.
Yeah. For example,
You also have to look at the temperament of the nakshatra, which we haven't really gone over with the nakshatras, because I've been wanting to kind of focus on it more from an interpretive point of view, the person. But some things would be favored starting under very chart-related nakshatras. Right. Like Kritika would be a good thing. If you have to do something intense, Kritika would be a good nakshatra to start it under. If you have to carry out something that is very cutting through something or incisive, so to speak, Kritika would be a good position for that. So it really depends on the nakshatra and what it is you're trying to start, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Founding a charity, Uttara Phalguni would be excellent.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, were there any final thoughts you have on this particular nakshatra?
No, I feel pretty comfortable with that.
Okay. And any final thoughts over this group of 4 that we've gone over today before we conclude?
No, I think that I think we already kind of covered that in terms of saying this is where the Rajasic energy comes to an end, and here we have the soul becoming more encased in its material existence until it reaches Jyeshta being the final nakshatra of this. And then with Mula, we start the Sattvic-related nakshatras.
Right. Okay, excellent.
Which are more about the journey home, so to speak.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for taking some time out of your schedule to sit down to do this, and I look forward to meeting with you again next week to discuss the next set of 4 nakshatras.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Okay, take care.
All right, bye now.
Bye.